Hello again my friends and welcome back to my channel and to a book haul video. I haven't done one of these in a while because honestly I've been trying to limit my book buying this year and also my movie and games buying and all the other stuff that I collect because I have so many unread books and so many unwatched films and unplayed games on my shelves that I decided to implement a rule that for every, let's just talk about books here, but this is the same for movies and games, that for every book that I read, or no, for every book that I buy, I need to read 2 books or get rid of 2 books. So this is a way for me to first of all really focus on my TBR and also sort of think about what books I have in my collection. Are there any of them I want to get rid of that I don't feel like I'm gonna read? And it also makes sure that my TBR does not grow. You know, reading 2 books for each new book that I buy sort of helps me keep that down. I mean, I still have like hundreds of unread books in my collection, but I think this rule has worked well so far. Because I do feel I'm making progress. I'm just not acquiring new books all the time. I'm actually, I have like a system for it, so that's pretty good actually. It has worked well so far, because I don't think I could ever do like a total book buying ban. Like, no, that's just not me. No, I don't work that way. So yeah, this system that I've been using this year has worked pretty good. But I have bought some new books. I mean, I've read a bunch of books, obviously, and some of them, the reviews are up on my channel, and some of them are not. I have a list of read books that I'm gonna review pretty soon, but those are for a later date. So, a bunch of books that I bought. First of all, I bought a set here of 4 books. The first of which me and a couple of friends decided to read in this book club that we have together. This is actually a book I read many years ago. It was one of the first science fiction books I ever read. Maybe even the very first one, I don't remember. It was either this one or Foundation by Isaac Asimov. But the point is that I read it in Swedish, the Swedish translation, and the rest of the books in the series has not been translated, only the first one. And I really wanted to continue and explore the universe more, so I bought the set here of 4 books. And what books am I talking about? I'm talking about Ender's Game series, not the Ender's Shadows sort of parallel series to this. This is just the Ender's books. So this is Ender's Game, Speaker for the Dead, Xenocide, and Children of the Mind, which I hear at least the first 2 are pretty good, and the other 2 are maybe not quite as good. But I did read Ender's Game recently for the book club, and it is a really good book. I do really love it. It is a bit problematic, of course, because it's written by Wilson Scott Card, who is not a nice person. He has a lot of opinions on women and homosexuals and people of color and all that, which I do not necessarily agree with. So yeah, this is a big problem. You know, deciding for yourself how to approach these kinds of author. And Anita Lind from Anita Reads, I believe her channel is now called, did a video on this subject a while back where she talked about problematic authors and how do you approach that? You know, do you not read their books? Or do you read, you know, what do you do? I don't have an answer for that. I really don't. You have to make up your own mind for the author in question and sort of say that, you know, no, I want to distance myself from this author completely, and that includes not reading his books. I would totally understand that decision. For me, though, when I read Ender's Game, many years ago, I didn't know anything about this. I was maybe 13 or something. I didn't really care either. You know, I was just like, oh, science fiction book, I'm gonna read it. And now I'm just like, oh, but then this game is so good. But Orson Scott Card is a dick, but then this game is so good. So yeah, in the end, I decided to, yes, I'm gonna get these books, despite the author's opinions on stuff. And I do really, I mean, I haven't read the other 3 books here, so I don't know about them, but I do recommend reading Ender's Game. Because it is I would say it's a science fiction classic, and it's a very important piece, I think, in science fiction history. So yeah, I do recommend checking that one out. I mean, you can borrow it from the library if you don't want to buy it new, as I did. So yeah, those were the first 4. Then we move on to a couple of other books that I also bought new, because I went to visit Science Fiction Bokhandeln, which is the science fiction bookstore we have here in Sweden, and I have one physical store in my neighboring town, so I went there and had a nice time with my friends. And it was on May the 4th, because there was like a Star Wars theme, and you got like reduced price on Star Wars things. So I bought the Star Wars books, obviously. I bought this one. This is Star Wars The Han Solo Adventures by Brian Daley. And this is not the current canon universe. This is the old one, so it's Star Wars Legends. As you see, it says there on the cover. This is not... This is a bind-up of 3 books. Han Solo at Star's End, Han Solo's Revenge, and Han Solo and the Lost Legacy. These are not the very, very first Star Wars books ever published. I mean, the very, very first Star Wars book was a novelization of the first film, which I believe even came out before the film. But then there was one, and I always forget the name. It was Splinter in the Mind's Eye, I think it was called. That was the very first like extended universe novel. And then there were some pretty early comics as well, which I do have. I haven't read them yet. But then these came along. So these are pretty early Star Wars books. And I'm trying... I haven't gotten into the Star Wars universe yet, other than the films, of course, but I'm gonna try to actually read everything in publication order. I'm a bit crazy like that, but yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna do it. So this is one that I will be picking up soon-ish. I don't know. We'll see how plans go, but yeah, hopefully soon. And then I bought another book at the same time, and this is not Star Wars. This was Dust by Elizabeth Bear. I don't know much about this one, except I have it on, or I had it on my wishlist on Goodreads. So at some point in time, there was something I read about this book that made me go, yeah, I want to read that. And this one was pretty cheap, so I was like, yeah, why not? I picked it up. So yeah, I got this one now. Have you read it, maybe? What do you think about it? I don't know much about it. I think it's like some kind of weird like science fantasy stuff, because I think there's like angels, but then there's like machinery, and yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, then I went thrifting, as I do quite a lot. Actually, most of the books I buy are secondhand. It was, I mean, the Anders Saga and the 2 I show you now, I all bought them new, which is fairly uncommon for me. But yeah, I went thrifting, and one of the things I picked up during my thrifting was The Reality Dysfunction by Peter F. Hamilton. I have started to get into Peter F. Hamilton's writing. I read Pandora's Star. I'm currently reading Judas Unchained, though it's a bit on the back burner for the moment, because that is one thick book. I mean, this one is also pretty thick, but yeah. So, and I've been sort of slowly, throughout the years, been collecting some of his books as I find them when I'm thrifting. So this was one that I was missing, so I got it. This is the first book, I believe, in the Night's Dawn trilogy. Don't know how that is connected to his other books. I mean, I know Pandora's Star and Judas Unchained are part of like a big universe, and that there are other books set in that universe, but I don't think it's the same universe as this one, so yeah. I don't know, we'll see. And then I got one more book thrifting. I got Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, which I was actually quite happy to find. Because I do also want to get into Brandon Sanderson's writing. I am actually currently reading Elantris. I'm almost finished with it, and I really liked it. So, and Steelheart was also another book that I had on my wish list, and obviously it's no longer on my wish list because now I have it. And this is some kind of superhero thing. Sanderson does his own take on superheroes, which just, that idea kind of fascinates me. So I want to check it out. Don't know when I will be getting around to reading Steelheart, though. It's not on the prioritized TBR at the moment, so I don't know. But sometime in the future, I will be getting around to that one. So yeah, that was it for this book haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Have you read any of these books, maybe? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe as usual, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.